Word says, and Jesus, immediately knowing it himself, that virtue had gone up, and he turned about in the prince and said, who touched my clothes? Here's the question that you must ask God. Are you giving God worship that lets him know that he's been touched? That's the question. Do you give God worship that signifies or that annihilates the fact that you have touched God and he has been the one? Oftentimes we ask the question, God, when are you going to bless me? When are you going to bless me? When are you going to bless me? When are you going to send me a blessing? But the question is, when is the last time that you have blessed God? So your neighbor say, when have you blessed God? I'm looking at him and say, when have you blessed God? Here it is, in this text, it says that he has been touched by the woman. Understand this, is that God stopped what he did. God have mercy. He stopped everything, shut everything down, turned around and said, who has touched me? Here's the question. Have you given God worship that God has to turn around and say, who in the world has touched me on this day? And the problem, y'all understand, the problem is that oftentimes we give God worship that does not turn him around. Oh God, we give him praise that does not turn him around. But you have to understand something, that your worship must be so wonderful that it turns God around and says, man, oh touch me. Here's the question, how many times has God turned around and looked at you face to face and said, thank you for touching me. Thank you for worshiping me enough that says I need to turn around and handle your situation. And I don't know who I'm talking to here, but there's some people in this room today that need God to turn around and look at you face to face and give you an answer for the stuff that you're going through right now. Who am I talking to here? How many people in here need God to turn around? He's going one way, but I need him to turn around. Lift up your hands and say, I need him to turn around for me. How many need him to turn around? How many need him to turn around? Y'all ain't saying nothing. How many need him to turn around in your life? Y'all ain't saying nothing here. Like God says, oh, you have given me enough worship when I have turned you around and looked at you face to face. Here's the question. If God turns around, looks at you face to face, do you have, good God, enough God in you that he recognizes you when he looks at you? All right. Watch this. Yeah. I look at you. Should I have, if there was enough God in you, what God says, all right, that's me. Because the problem is, when he turns around and looks at you, you got so much mess on you. You understand that God cannot bless you because you have so much mess that is in your spirit. Who am I talking to here? Because God has to do what is called a detox before he can bless you to the next level. Because God can't, watch this, God can't release you to the next level if you still got contamination in you from the first level. Oh God, help me, Jesus. How many people in here need God to take some stuff out of your life that's been in your life for a long time? Who am I talking to? How many need God to detox you? How many need God to take out some stuff that if God, you don't take this out, then I don't have a place where I would lose my mind. Who am I talking to here? There's got some stuff in your spirit, in your mind, in your spirit, in your life that you say, God, you have to take this stuff out of me. I got some jealousy in here. I got some frustration in here. I got some lust in here. I got some issues in here. That God, you have to get out of me, because if you don't get out of me, I'm going to die. So here it is, the woman with the issue of blood, saying, I have an issue that is an emergency. Good God have mercy. Here's the question. The stuff in your life that you're going through through right now, is it an emergency?
All right now. Yes, Lord.
The stuff that we're going through right now, it warrants an emergency. This is an emergency situation you're going through right now. Let me ask if you're going through emergency stuff right now. Let me ask. Let me ask if you're going through emergency stuff. Let me ask. Don't listen. We're having family time. Don't lie. I'm going through some what? Emergency situations. That watch it. That God, if you don't see it, watch it. If you don't see it, it happens. Watch it. If it's just a real problem, you can get an appointment for it. But when it's an emergency, an ambulance has to come. Watch this. We are dealing with situations in our life, and I feel the spirit of the room. God is here. The people are here. God is moving in your life, but I feel the spirit of the room. The spirit of the room is I'm under the emergency situation.
All right.
Good God have mercy. I am going through an emergency problem. I am going through something that warrants God's attention right now.
All right now.
I ain't talking to nobody. Who am I talking to? Come on, let's be real. I'm going through some stuff right now. That God, you have to take care of this right now. Good God. I can't wait. Watch this. I can't set up an appointment for February the 2nd. I can't set up an appointment for February the 10th. When you do a checkup, y'all ain't set up. When you do a checkup, or when you're trying to get a physical, you can set up an appointment. Good God. You can set up an appointment. You can call and say, I'm going to get an appointment for January the 30th. So make sure I'm there. So you set it up for 9 o'clock. So you go to, you say this is just an appointment. So you just set it up. You just schedule it. Watch this. But when there's an emergency, it is immediate care. It needs, watch this, immediate attention. Meaning it can't wait until 2 weeks down the road. Because if I wait 2 weeks down the road, I'll be dead. Y'all hear me? If I wait 2 weeks down the road, I'll be gone. Your spiritual life is on an emergency. You can't wait. You can't wait 2 weeks from now to say, I'm going to get it together. No, the stuff you're going through right now is an emergency that needs immediate attention.
Yes, Lord. Yes, Lord.
Watch this. Whenever your spiritual life is, whatever area has been affected by your spiritual life, needs immediate attention. Watch this. Some of us have been hurt in our hearts. Good God, have mercy. I feel like preaching. And some of us have been hurt in our heart, which causes you to have a heart attack. Good God. So in the spirit realm, you have had a heart attack that you do not go to the hospital for. Good God. So what you're trying to do is trying to walk around with a heart attack. Because watch this, you've been hurt by church folk. Y'all understand? You've been hurt by your family. You've been hurt by your mother. So what you're doing is you have experienced a heart attack.
All right.
Good God have mercy. So what you have done is you have suffered a massive heart attack, but you won't go to the hospital.
All right now.
You say, I'll just get an appointment.
Yes, Lord.
You don't